Imagine the raw, electrifying wail of a guitar slicing through the night like a bolt of lightning from another dimension, a sound that captured the wild spirit of a generation and still echoes in our souls today, a sound born from the fingers of a man who seemed to channel the universe itself. That man was Jimi Hendrix, a cosmic wanderer whose life burned bright and brief, leaving us forever haunted by what could have been. His story isn't just a timeline of hits and heartbreaks, it's a symphony of triumph over pain, love tangled with chaos, and a voice that refuses to fade, even decades after his final. Alan Hendrix on a chilly November morning in 1942 in Seattle, Washington, Jimi entered a world already fractured by hardship. His mother, Lucille, a vibrant but troubled soul just 17 years old, struggled with alcohol and instability, while his father, Al, was away serving in the Army during World War II. When Al returned, he renamed his son James Marshall Hendrix, hoping to give him a fresh start, but the family home was anything but stable. Divorce shattered their world when Jimi was just 9, and he bounced between relatives, witnessing his mother's battles with illness and poverty. By age 15, tragedy struck deeper. Lucille died from cirrhosis, a loss that scarred young Jimi profoundly. His father forbade him and his brother Leon from attending her funeral, instead handing them whiskey shots and gruffly declaring, "That's how men handle grief." It was a brutal lesson in suppression, one that perhaps fueled the explosive emotion in his later music. Amid the chaos, Jimi found solace in a one-string ukulele scavenged from the trash, mimicking Elvis and blues bucks. Jimi taught himself left-handed, flipping the strings upside down, his fingers dancing with a natural fury that hinted at the genius brewing inside. As a teen, Jimi dropped out of high school, enlisting in the Army at 19 to avoid jail for a minor joyride offense. He became a paratrooper in the 101st Airborne, jumping from planes with adrenaline pumping, but a broken ankle ended his service after just a year. Free at last, he dove into music, gigging in Nashville's Chitlin Circuit, backing icons like Little Richard and the Isley Brothers. Those years were grind and glamour, hauling gear, scraping by, honing his craft in smoky clubs where his wild stage antics sometimes stole the show a bit too much, leading to firings. But in New York, fate intervened when Linda Keith, girlfriend of Rolling Stone Keith Richards, spotted his raw talent and connected him with Chas Chandler of The Animals. Chandler whisked him to London in 1966, where Jimi formed the Jimi Hendrix Experience with bassist Noel Redding and drummer Mitch Mitchell. Overnight, he exploded, setting guitars ablaze at Monterey Pop, reimagining the Star-Spangled Banner at Woodstock into a protest anthem of distorted fury, fusing blues, rock, psychedelia, and soul into something revolutionary. Albums like Are You Experienced and Axis, Bold as Love became blueprints for generations, his left-handed Stratocaster a wand conjuring sounds no one had dreamed possible. Yet behind the spotlight, Jimi's heart was a whirlwind of passion and fleeting connections, affairs that mirrored the intensity of his music. He wasn't one for marriage, but women orbited him like stars, drawn to his gentle, poetic soul beneath the rock god exterior. Kathy Etchingham was his longest love, a fiery British model who shared his London flat from 1966 to 1969, inspiring songs like The Wind Cries Mary after a lover's spat over her cooking. Their relationship was turbulent, filled with jealousy and makeups, but she remembered him as kind, almost shy offstage. Then there was Monika Dannemann, the German figure skater who became his companion in his final days, claiming they were engaged, though friends doubted it. Other flames flickered brightly: Devin Wilson, his on-and-off muse entangled in drugs; Kirsten Nefer, a brief Danish romance; even whispers of flings with Brigitte Bardot before she met Paul. Jimi poured his loves into lyrics, vulnerable and raw, like in Little Wing, a tender ode to the women who grounded his nomadic spirit. But fame's pressures, endless tours, hangers-on, and substances strained these bonds, leaving him yearning for deeper connection amid the chaos. Why did he leave us so soon? At just 27, Jimi joined the tragic 27 Club, his flame extinguished by the very excesses that fueled his creativity. The 1960s rock scene was a pressure cooker of drugs, exhaustion, and exploitation, managers pushing tours, fans demanding more, and Jimi battling inner demons from his fractured youth. He experimented with LSD, marijuana, and amphetamines to unlock his mind, but sleeping pills became a crutch for his insomnia. On September 18, 1970, in a London hotel room at the Samarkand, after a night out with friends, he took a handful of Vesperax barbiturates, far stronger than he realized, from Monica's supply. He aspirated his own vomit in his sleep, asphyxiating alone while she slept nearby. Paramedics arrived too late. He was pronounced dead at 12:45 p.m. His last meal? A simple tuna sandwich, a mundane detail that underscores the fragility of genius. Jimi had spoken of burnout, once saying in an interview, "I'm the one that has to die when it's time for me to die, so let me live my life the way I want to." It was a defiant plea for freedom, but the weight of stardom proved too heavy. In interviews, Jimi's voice revealed a philosopher beneath the performer. On The Dick Cavett Show, he humbly deflected praise as the best guitarist.
Sit in this chair, how about whenever I feel down or depressed or whatever, I just go on and play. And I can't practice, so it's just always constantly, like a jam, It's hard for me to remember any notes because I'm constantly trying to create other things. That's why I make a lot of mistakes.
You read music?
How about the loudest? He spoke of music as a healing force. When the power of love overcomes the love of power, the world will know peace. In a 1969 chat with Meatball Fulton, he shared his exhaustion from rapid album demands, yearning to evolve beyond expectations. Fans adored him not just for the riffs, but for his vulnerability. Tributes pour in yearly, from Experience Hendrix tours featuring stars like Zakk Wylde and Kenny Wayne Shepherd, to fans sharing stories of how Purple Haze ignited their own dreams. Even relatives, like a nephew born decades later, mourn his absence while celebrating his bloodline's legacy. His timeless voice lives in final recordings like Slow Blues, laid down weeks before his death at Electric Lady Studios, or posthumous gems in Bold as Love sessions, haunting instrumentals that whisper of unfinished symphonies. Today, in 2026, Jimi's family stewards his flame. His half-sister, Jimi Hendrix, runs Experience Hendrix LLC, releasing archival treasures and touring tributes, ensuring his music reaches new ears. His brother Leon, after years of legal battles over the estate, found peace in settlements, focusing on family harmony. No direct children, though rumors persist, but his siblings honor him with medals and memorials, like the Washington State Honor in 2025. The estate thrives, with over 40 posthumous albums, proving his genius endures. Oh, but the ache of his absence. Yet in every guitar solo that bends the strings with soul, Jimi lives. So here's your call. Dust off that record, crank Voodoo Child, feel the power surge through you. Let his story inspire you to chase your own bold love, to live fiercely before the final chord fades. Because as Jimi taught us, music isn't just sound, it's the eternal heartbeat of the human spirit.